Next, let's queer up health. FDA announces plans to lift ban on gay sperm donors. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that the Food and Drug Administration is considering lifting its ban on sperm donations from men who have sex with men. The FDA may also lift restrictions on donations of other tissues and organs from gay and bisexual men. While the FDA has not confirmed the report, a spokesperson acknowledged ongoing reviews of donors screening and testing protocols. The agency might release a draft of the new policy for public comment by the summer, with a final rule expected by late 2024 or early 2025. In 2005, the FDA expanded its ban on blood donations from gay and bisexual men to include sperm donations, citing concerns about HIV transmission. These policies were based on outdated assumptions about HIV prevalence among gay men, irrespective of individual risk factors. Last year, the FDA lifted the ban on blood donations from men who have sex with men, implementing gender-neutral screening based on individual behaviors. The FDA's evolving approach reflects a shift towards evidence-based policies and inclusivity in blood and tissue donation protocols. Sperm banks nationwide face shortages, particularly of donors from diverse backgrounds. Allowing donations from gay and bisexual men could alleviate this scarcity. Alice Ruby, executive director of the Sperm Bank of California in Berkeley, told The Blade that they reject gay and bisexual donors every week, amounting to approximately 400 men annually. This tells you how, misconception, prejudice dictates healthcare policy and public health care policy. And, when you think about how the pandemic has changed, and yes, in the beginning of the AIDS pandemic, the HIV pandemic, we were like the group in the society that, had most cases of HIV cases. But that has changed.
It's not the case anymore.
It's not, and it hasn't been for a long
black
time.
Women.
Right. Heterosexual black women.
Yeah. Black and brown women.
And minority and unfortunately heterosexual. Yep. I mean, but again, things have not changed for years. And they keep turning people down just because, a perceived
Estupidez, because of misinformation.
Pendejadas.
Because of idiocracy.
Right.
Just idiots.
Yeah.
We've got a blood shortage, right? How about if it was your child or your mother that needed a specific blood, right? O positive. Isn't that the one that everybody can get, right? Or something like that. And you're going to say no to that blood because the person is gay? It's ridiculous that we deal with caveman bullshit, that you're going to ask for a gender when it comes to your blood. Come on. And for sperm donors, if there's a sperm shortage, which I'm surprised with. As many gay men as I know, there wouldn't be a sperm shortage if you allowed them to be giving their sperm.
That's my fault.
Okay? And the kids would be better. Come on, you're gonna have sperm, you're gonna have gay sperm making amazing, fabulous kids.
I don't know if people would. This is the thing. I don't know.
Misinformation. You're saying people are going to say, "Oh, that's going to make my kid gay."
It's going to make my kid gay, right? So
am I going to be someone saying?
They should be so lucky.
Right?
Yeah. So this was a really big deal for me when I was realizing that I was gay. As I was one of those gallon blood donors. I used to go all the time, and I just felt it was my duty. And I'm very much against all the gun culture and all that kind of stuff, right? So whenever a massacre was happening and one of these shootings, I was the first one to line up to give my blood. And I will be the first person to say, if the science had confirmed that there is a high risk of HIV transmission, I would say make that the public policy. It's not about us wanting to give. It's about the people who need the blood, right? That's the number one thing. But our testing has gotten so much better.
Right.
And I remember when I was a young gay kid and I wasn't having sex. And I'm like, this slut over here, she can give all the blood she wants, but there's no way. My blood is definitely pure, less likely to transmit anything.
Did you have to lie? Because that was my point.
So I lied. I lied all the time because I said, you know what? I know the greater good is for me to lie and to make sure that these blood banks, I do my part to it. with the sperm donation, I didn't even realize that that had gone on in 2005. And that's also another big deal to me because I have gone back and forth so many times about donating sperm.
You're such a talented musician. Like, you would love to give, somebody would want your sperm.
Well, the thing is like, you know, it never worked out for me in a relationship. You know, I'm much older than I look. But, you know, for me, that ship, I think that has sailed. But I would love for somebody else to be able to give that to somebody else, you know?
Think of kidneys.
Huh?
Think of kidney. Organ donors. You know how many people are dying that need our, you know, organs, and they just gonna refuse them because we're gay.
And we can test it. We can test it multiple times.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
and
come
you
on.
can test the blood.
Right. You will never infuse blood on somebody if you don't test it for HIV and every other disease.
And everything gets checked, okay? Right. And, on that screening form, right? I remember it just like when Trini was going through it. I remember that the form said, have you slept with men who have slept with men, right? And I'm part of this community. Hello, I dated bisexual boys all the time, and it wasn't a big deal to me, you know? And for that, they wouldn't let me give blood once. So I stopped writing that because of it.
When they ask me, and there's always a unit that's stopped in the corner of my house, like they go weekly, and I always go by them. I feel bad for them because they come and ask me, and they offer like tickets to the movies and whatnot. I said no. And I said no, and I tell them why I'm telling them no, because I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a gay man, and the government refused to take my blood because I'm a gay man. That's what I tell them every week, and then they say, but you don't have to say no. You're missing the point. I am a gay man, and the government doesn't allow me to give my blood. Therefore, I'm not gonna give you blood. Sorry. I mean, I know you need to fill a quota, but I'm not gonna give you my blood.
So let me add a fun fact. I used to work at. Are y'all familiar with CSO Plasma?
Yes, of course. I have one in my house.
I used to give it.
I used to work there a couple years ago. And the fact that I would come into work and just so openly share my experience with my then boyfriend, well, now husband, then boyfriend, just talk casually about like what we did the weekend. Everybody knew I had a boyfriend, yada, yada, yada. Everybody I worked with was allowed to donate plasma for extra money, except for me.
Really?
I was like, y'all gonna look me in my face,
work with me,
like couldn't budge or nothing. Be like, Chaz, we love you, whoever Chaz is, we love you, Bonnie, we love you, Bonnie. But like, you still can't donate. You can't be like the rest of us. I'm like, are you? And the fact that I was at the screening portion at CSO Plasma, so I had to test everybody. And if I knew a little limp wrist was walking in, I kept my mouth shut. I made sure that little homo got paid that day, because what you do is none of my business. As long as your schematics were clear with me, I didn't fudge your results. Your results had to be good. But if I knew if I saw you at the banner the night before, I mind my business.
That is just so crazy that we have to go through that. My wife is O positive, right? She has that blood that everybody can get, right? And she feels like Dino does. She goes, screw you. You guys won't take my brother's blood, then I'm not giving you mine. Yeah, you know, and who loses? People who really need that blood. You know what I mean? Like,
that's why I would like to do that, but
but they have to screen my blood anyway. Like they screen your blood. Either you say the truth, you tell the truth or not. They have to screen the blood.
Yeah, exactly.
The point is so ridiculous. It's based on prejudice, and I just don't accept that.
On a lighter note, Trini's blood type, I have cheerleader blood.
Hey,
the fuck does that mean?
No. B positive.
Shut the fuck